answers and the questions so far in reference to Representative Maurice Hinchey. And he's announced that he is going to retire at the end of this year. We wish him the best, of course, for his health and his family. And he's put in decades of effort to help the community. So that is recognized, but at the same time it does leave a vacuum, a bit of a vacuum, and the question is, as probably one of the more visible and front-running, potentially a front-runner, and definitely more visible, would you follow his step in going from the Assembly to the Congress?
Well, ordinarily that would be a pretty obvious question to answer, because you know what the congressional district looks like, and you know where you are, but it is let's just say, very likely that this district won't be here any longer. I have every reason to suspect that the lower portion of the district, Kingston, will get broken off and merged into someone else's congressional district. Keeping in mind we have to cut out 2 congressional seats.
Sure.
And they've got to come from someplace.
Sure.
It's, like I said, very likely this is going to be one of them, this one that snakes down from Ithaca all the way down to Kingston. So if we lose that portion of it, what happens to Binghamton and the area that I live in? That remains to be seen. We might get merged up into Syracuse, we might get merged into Steuben, over into Corning, we might wind up getting merged over into Cooperstown. So before anybody even thinks about running, you've got to know what the district looks like, and it's likely that there will be an incumbent in those spots, an incumbent who already has substantial amount of money raised as part of their campaign. So I'm just saying, let's wait and see where we wind up, because each one of those variations is a completely different consideration as to who would be the best person to take on that incumbent. It may be me, but it may very well be somebody else from a different part of the state, and I wouldn't want to presume. So we'll wait and see.
Okay. Well, it is one of those questions that's been floating around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said, ordinarily it'd be an easy question, but now there's too many unknowns, so we'll see.
Sure.
But I like what I'm doing. I'll make that perfectly clear.
Okay.
I like what I'm doing very much.
Let me ask you, going in another direction altogether, because it's something you hit on earlier today with a press release with the DOT, Department of Transportation. And more generally, I know we're running quickly out of time, but in general, looking at Governor Cuomo's budget for New York for 2012-2013, are there, obviously there's the DOT and its consolidation that you have some concerns with. Are there other areas that you believe that constituents should be paying attention to, keeping an eye out, some areas that you believe are concerns?
There are some small areas that we have to be looking at. Nothing that I think my constituents need to get too concerned about, because it's just, I don't want to say inside baseball, but it's a lot of things where we go through this each year, where we have an argument with the governor about how much to fund agriculture, or how much some of our neighborhood housing programs should be funded, and oftentimes it's simply a matter of moving things around so that our priorities are met. So I wouldn't say there's anything big that jumped out at me. To be honest, I think the governor's done a good job here of putting some fiscal discipline into the works. You really can't fault him for the kind of tough decisions that he encouraged all of us to make, to rein in spending and to do it without raising taxes. That's all been very positive. He has a pretty progressive social agenda that I've been comfortable with, that kind of balances it out. Everyone comes away from this feeling like they've gotten something out of it.
He has done a good job on a tough situation.
Which is positive. I also like what he's doing on government consolidation. Eliminating useless programs and consolidating agencies that have overlapping functions. I do have a concern about this proposal to consolidate DOT regional offices, simply because our office is so critical here, especially with flood recovery. I recently ran into someone who had been brought back from retirement just to handle all the work that has happened. So I just want to make sure that they know this is a crucial regional office. We may have to take on additional work from other counties, but I would be very upset if we wind up losing this centerpiece here. That was the one I was trying to raise today. But other than that, I think it's a good product all the way around.
Okay. Just one last question, because I know we are now slightly over.
Okay.
Did you get to meet President Obama?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not. I got to meet Valerie Jarrett, one of his main advisors,
Right.
and I got to meet Arnie Duncan, the Secretary of Education, and I got to meet the Secretary of Agriculture. So I got to meet a lot of the top people and
Those are great
a lot
people
of
to meet.
deputies. But I did not get to meet the president. It turned out to be the day that his chief of staff announced his resignation, and
that's right.
it was unexpected, and the president got tied up with that. But we weren't really expecting to see him. But I sort of hoped.
But it would have been nice.
He did drive by us, though.
Okay.
After dinner, we were walking back to the hotel, and his motorcade came by, and I did see him in the vehicle, sort of. We made that.
It's a nice motorcade. He is.
It's a very nice motorcade. But it was just nice being there and just being in a bigger setting to validate, as you said earlier, some of the ideas we've been working on, and hopefully bringing some of this to our community.
Absolutely.
Great.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for giving us the time again to speak with you and bring some light to some of these issues. We look forward to speaking with you more in February about those initiatives. And other than that, I won't stop you from getting to the people's work.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.